So I've been asked many times, do I regret getting the MacBook Neo? Does it really work out for my data device? I also get asked, why didn't I get a MacBook Air or more importantly, a MacBook Pro? Well, we're going to talk about that and I'm going to tell you whether this thing, I regret getting it or not. Let's go. So I get asked all the time since I've done a few videos on the MacBook Neo, do I regret it? I didn't get the basic one. I've got the one with the fingerprint reader right there and I like it because it just opens up immediately. I don't have to type anything. I'm really enjoying that. I kind of wish I had a keyboard for my other Macs in the house that have that fingerprint reader because it's really nice and functional. And I know I can get those keyboards. Anyway, back to this. People want to know, why didn't I just get a MacBook Air, and more specifically, a MacBook Air M, an M1 or M2 series? And, you can possibly get a used MacBook Air M1 for the price of what I paid for this. Actually, I got the military or teacher's discount. I can't remember which one I used, but I got $100 off. So I actually got it for $5.99. And if you've been in my channel at all, you know that I have the iPad Pro M5. So why didn't I get another M series? Well, number one, I wanted to try out a newer MacBook. I wanted something, of course, that was new, but I did not want to pay over $1,000, $1,500, $2,000 for a good compatible one. Because if you want to get one with 512 gigabytes of RAM, you're going to spend over $1,000. Again, remember, I paid $599, and then to get an M1, get a used one. First off, it's used. So you don't know what's happened to it, where it's been. Secondly, it's used. M1 is several years old. As we know, we have the M5 now that's coming out in devices. I have a M4 MacBook Mini and an M4 MacBook Studio. And those are all going to be replaced here in the next year or so, or this year, with the M5. So the M1 would be really outdated. And I just didn't want to invest money in old technology or an old chip. And now on the internet, you can check it out. There's a lot of videos out there saying that the MacBook Neo is a better buy. It has a brighter screen, and of course, newer technology in it, newer SSD, being that 512 with the newer technology. And there's really not a whole lot of difference in size. I mean, this thing is a 13-inch MacBook, and the quality is right there. It's made out of the same aluminum material that you get in all the other MacBooks. Now, the only real downsides that I found in this thing is the keyboard is not lit up, and these USB-C ports are a little bit slow. I mean, this one's a 3.1 or 3.2, and the other one's a 2.0, which has yet to be an issue for me today. So because I do have a external hard drive right here. This is a 1 terabyte SSD inside. And of course, I can put up to an 8 terabyte if I want to. But as we know, SSDs or memory is expensive right now, and so is RAM. So I use this. I plug it into the second port, which is the USB 3.1 or whatever you call it. And it's fast. It does not slow me up in video editing. And what's really nice about this is I could take this thing portable and I could edit like I did on this last trip. I'm sitting there editing in an airport, no problems whatsoever. Now, I actually did try out a MacBook Air not long ago as an M4, and it seemed to work about the same as this. It was just about the same as far as smoothness when editing, and both of them, when it came to rendering, were extremely slow, which is why I did not end up keeping the MacBook Air, because I didn't like spending over $1,000 for a device that had very little hard drive space and was extremely slow at rendering. And so when this came out, I thought, if it performs as well as the MacBook Air with the things that I need, which is basic things, checking email, browsing the web, and doing a little bit of editing on the go, then I thought this would meet my needs, and it sure enough does. And what really excites me about this is I can use it and connect it to my my Mac Studio at home when I'm out and about. I just connect it to my phone or any kind of Wi-Fi network, and I just go right into my MacBook Studio at home, and I do the editing from it. So basically, this works like a terminal. Now, who would spend a lot of money on a terminal, a remote terminal? Not me. And believe it or not, when editing from this, when I'm remote, check it out. The video is so fast. It's just as if I was here at home, because it's just streaming the video back from my studio at home to this right here. The app I actually use is called Jump Desktop, and I get the audio and everything straight to my Mac Neo when I'm doing this. So on this last trip here, I was able to edit not just in the airport, but in, of course, the hotel room connected to the Wi-Fi. I even did some editing while in the car as a passenger. It just connected it to my phone. It worked really, really well. Now, this last trip, I went to one of my granddaughters' graduation from high school, and I actually bought her her first MacBook, and it was a MacBook Neo, and got her the pink version because she's so into pink. And she was so excited about that. It just made me so happy to see her light up when she got that MacBook. And the Neo is definitely going to meet her needs. At her graduation party, she was putting together a slideshow to put up on a big screen, and she had a Surface laptop, and she was struggling getting the video from her iPhone to the Surface. She got it on there, and then she got it on there. It wouldn't play. And I says, well, here, let me help you out. So I brought out my MacBook Neo. We plugged it in to the projector there. We're talking a big, what was it? Probably at least a 100-inch projector screen or more. And this thing had no problem pushing that projector. And then all she had to do was airdrop her videos onto my MacBook Neo, and we were good to go. It played right away. It was so fun because this was before she received her MacBook, and she thought that was so cool. And how simply this sets up and works for anybody new to a MacBook is crazy simple. My granddaughter went ahead and set it up that night, and the next morning I was ready to go ahead and give her a tutorial on her MacBook, and she already had it down. She said she was texting from her MacBook already and had everything set up. So talk about simplicity. So back to the idea, should I have got a MacBook Air or bought an older MacBook Air M1 because it's supposedly a faster chip? Answer is no. There's nothing wrong with this thing, and it works great. And it happens to be the newest technology. Now I want to hear from you. Have you bought a MacBook Neo? Are you happy with it, or was a regret for you? For me, one of the best financial decisions, I think, so far in 2026. Leave a comment below. Let me know. If you want to see more on this MacBook Neo, check out this video here. Until next time, have a wonderful day, and God bless.